Anybody with me? Hey, Cece. Welcome back. Hey, Lamons. I don't know what happened. And it's weird because I can still send you guys chats and you see them, but my screen freezes. So I'm not sure what happened. Hey, Chris, I don't know what happened. I wish I knew. But okay. Hey, Tasha, how are you? So, Tasha, you just joined. I think we are playing an ABC game and we're doing Disney World or Disneyland, either park rides. We just did F, and most everybody said Frozen Ever After, the Frozen ride at Epcot. So let's go to G. What? Okay. I think I've got myself reset. I hope. On my end, it looks good. Back. Okay, good. Thanks, Tasha. Okay, so Tasha said Guardians. Amanda said Guardians. Helen, we're on letter G. Ski school. Cece, I like that one. Order here pretty quick. Let's go to letter H. What is your H ride at any of the Disney World or Disneyland parks? Haunted Mansion, Amanda says. Tasha, just so you know, last week we did characters and we hit all 26 letters. It was pretty awesome. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So we're going to continue doing great movie ride, Le Mans for G. Oh, that hurts. I love that ride. I understand why it had to close. They lost the contract with Turner Classics. And I like the new ride, but Hyperspace Mountain, Haunted Mansion, Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion was my answer as well. So, okay, Helen, I appreciate that. Let's go to I. What is your I ride? This one might be tricky because, again, a lot of rides we affectionately name it something. Bingo, Amanda. It's a Small World. We don't call it It's a Small World. We just call it Small World, right? Indiana Jones at Disneyland, Helen, that absolutely works. And sometime next year in 2027 will work at Disney World, the Animal Kingdom. That's very good. So yes, Amanda, you nailed it with It's a Small World. Incredicoaster Le Mans is an awesome one. Yes. Love that. CC, yes, It's a Small World. Both perfect. Helen, that's really good with Indiana Jones because when you first said it, I'm like, no, it's a stunt show, but you got me. Disneyland. All right, let's keep moving. What is your J ride? Ride that starts with a J. You watch a lot of streams. Jungle Cruise, says Amanda. Can anybody come up with one that isn't Jungle Cruise? I don't know if there is one because Jungle Cruise is my answer. Amanda, Tasha, yeah, Amanda's sharp. She's on it. I understand that, Helen. I totally get that. Journey of the Little Mermaid. Journey into Imagination with Figment. Yes, Blake. Yes, Le Mans. CC. Helen, yes. Yes. Those all work. Those are good. Okay. Let's keep going. What's your K ride? Anybody can think of a ride that starts with a K? I have one. Amanda, yes. Kilimanjaro Safaris, Le Mans, Kali River Rapids, yes. Both good. Kilimanjaro Safari. Yeah. I had the Safari, I did not have Cali River Rapids. That's great, Le Mans and CC. Very good. All right, let's go. L. What's your L ride? A lot of us have had the same answers, so it makes me wonder if we just think alike, or if there's just certain rides that just stick out. Living with the land, living with the land, living with the land. And I can tell you that's what I had on my piece of paper, was living with the land. I don't know if there's another L name, another ride that starts with an L. Living with land. I also meant to say at the very beginning, if there's a ride that's called the blank blank, like the Haunted Mansion, we're not counting that as a T ride. That's Haunted Mansion. It's an H. So throw any of those the somethings out. That's not a T ride. All right, so let's go to M. What's your M ride? Mission Space. That is not your ride, though, is it, Helen? You're not a Mission Space person. Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, Millennium Falcon. There's CC with their Star Wars. Love it. Magic Carpets of Aladdin. Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. Amanda, that is awesome. Yeah, Helen, I'm not a big fan of Mission Space. If they replace that with something else, I'd be happy. I think most of us would be happy. If you remember, Tina, though, loved that ride. Okay, so I will say I did have Mission Space on my list. However, I'm going to throw one other one out at you, and that's the Matterhorn at Disneyland. Or as I like to call it, the chiropractor's dream of a ride. They should have a chiropractor station at the exit of Matterhorn. You had out before the ride started. Good plan, Helen, especially if it was orange. Okay, let's go to N. What's your N ride? We're getting to the letters where it starts to get a little bit harder. Navi River Journey, Navi. Navi is what I had. My list starts to run out here. Navi, says CC. Anybody have an O? Yeah, Helen, I understand that. It is very tight squeeze in that ride for sure. Anybody have a ride that starts with the letter O? I could not think of one when I was jotting my notes down. Not to say there isn't one, but I could not think of one. One Man's Dream, not really ride. Great. Yeah. Omnibus. There you go, Le Mans. And Blake, I like your creativity. You get the creativity, but Le Mans, I think, wins because he actually picked a ride. So that's a good one. All right, let's move on. What is your P? P ride. Peter Pan's Flight. People Mover. Le Mans, there you go. Amanda, I had Peter Pan on my list. Anybody else have one? Pirates of the Caribbean, there you go. Blake. Prince Charming Carousel, CC, nice job. Love that. All right. Is there a Q ride at all? I'm going to give it about 10 seconds. If we don't see anybody with a Q, we're going to move on. Eric, I would not mind a private lounge for Disney guests at the airport. That'd be nice. I don't see a fifth park happening in at least another 10, 15 years probably, but that's just my gut. All right, let's move on. What is your, we didn't have Q. How about R? Rides that start with the letter R. Remy's Ratatouille, Rise of the Resistance, Amanda. Remy's Rise, says Cece. I expected that from you, Cece. Okay, Remy was at Epcot. Rise is at Hollywood Studios. My ride that starts with an R is going to be at Hollywood Studios. It's not Rise of the Resistance. It's another R. Anybody got that one? Rock and Roller Coaster. There you go, Blake. Exactly. That was my ride. I suppose somebody could say it's Aerosmith's. I think it's Rock and Roller Coaster. I don't think it's sponsored by, but anyway, that will soon be changing, as I think we all know. Aerosmith will no longer be the band that's a part of that ride. It will be taken over by the Muppets. I don't know if it'll still be called Rock and Roller Coaster or not. They haven't said that. All right, let's go to S. What is your ride that starts with the letter S? Space Mountain, Star Tours, both very good. I'm going to venture a guess nobody will say mine. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, very good, Amanda. That's a tricky one, Amanda, because most people think of the number 7 and not the word spelled out, 7. So that's a very good one. Seven Dwarfs, Blake, yes. Yep. Still haven't said mine yet. Last guesses on what my S ride is. Spaceship Earth, Helen, is a good one. Not mine, but it is a good one. Soarin' CC is another good one. Slinky Dog, yes. Le Mans, a good one. Spaceship Earth, Blake, all great ones. None of those are mine. I could give you a clue, but I think, well, you know what? I'll give the clue and we'll see if anybody. Bingo! Tasha nailed it. Skyliner. I was going to say my clue is think outside the parks. So my ride, which it's you're in and it's moving, is the Skyliner. Love the Skyliner. Me and Tasha, we're like twins on that one. That's not cheating, Helen. Come on, it's a ride. You move in it. I mean, a Carousel of Progress is a ride. You sit down and move. Skyliner, you sit down and move. It counts. Okay, let's go to T. Rides that start with the letter T. And again, the word the does not count. No, Helen, there are no naps on any attractions. That's just wrong. Test Track, Amanda, yes. Love. Teacups. Tomorrowland Transit, which is the People Mover. Love those. Tower of Terror, Tasha, yes. Now, Tasha, do you ride Tower of Terror? I know Helen doesn't. We already covered that talking about the hotel earlier. Who on here does ride Tower of Terror? Sure do, Tasha. Le Mans, very good. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is a great T ride. Besides Helen, because I know her answer, anybody on who will not ride Tower of Terror? Tasha, if she's never shared the story, I got Amanda to ride it last year in September. Not me. I'll chicken exit. You can still enjoy the queue and the dynamics there, CC. That's one way to do it. But yes, Helen, I got her. And then also Shannon, who sometimes is on these lives with us, rode. Not me, rode it once, never again. Well, at least you tried it, Amanda. Has anybody who's ridden it, I wish I had, again, my props with me. I've never tried it, but I always saw people say, take like a penny or a quarter and like hold it in the palm of your hand or sit it on the arm, whatever. And then when the elevator drops, you drop faster than the penny. And so the quarter or penny, whatever, kind of suspends in the air and then catches up to you. You're right, Tasha. Now, if you've ridden it, anybody ridden it at night when it's totally dark outside? Because I think that's a whole different level than riding it during the daytime. I've done both daytime and nighttime. And again, I think at nighttime is just takes it to a whole different level. Playing through this trip, that's awesome, Blake. It is different at night, Le Mans. And we could probably say that about a lot of rides, but I haven't, but that would be great. Yeah, Tasha, absolutely. You got to do it at night. Absolutely. I mean, first off, you're walking into the building when it's already dark out behind you. So it adds a little creepiness to it. And then the ambiance of the hotel and all of that. And then when you get up there and they open those doors and it's still pitch dark out, it's pretty cool. You love dark rides? I love in the dark rides. Yeah. So there you go, Tasha, which I'm going to take you back to my S ride, Skyliner. That too is another whole different animal at night. If you stay at Pop Century or Art of Animation, the Skyliner line from the Caribbean Beach hub over to Art and Pop, you go over a lake. Man, at nighttime when it's pitch dark out, it's a little eerie because you know what's probably floating around in that water, right? So that's kind of creepy. But anyway, all right, let's get back to our game. So we did Tower Terror, Tiana's Test Track, Tomorrowland Transit. Bingo, Helen, you nailed it. Okay. Does anybody have a ride that starts with the letter U? These last handful of letters might be nearly impossible. Yeah, Tasha, it is a little spooky in certain spots. Now, when you're over the resorts, under the sea, there you go, Blake. When you're over the resorts or the roads, things like that, not a big deal. Universe of Energy. Wow, Le Mans. Going back. I love it. I love that. That is good. All right. How about V as in Victor? I couldn't think of the U one, so I'm not going to be able to think of a V. Under the Sea. Yes, CC. Perfect. I can't even think. I can't think of a V at all. And going back to the T, this would have been cheating a little bit, but 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I don't know that you'd count that because that ride is 20000 Leagues Under the Sea, but I thought about that 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. All right, we're giving up on V then. Any W rides? Walt Disney World Railroad, Amanda. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. That was the only one I could come up with. All right, I think we're going to skip X because I don't know if there's going to be an X. How about Y? Is there a Y ride? Walt Disney Enchanted Tiki Room, CC. There you go. Now, some people would, instead of calling it Expedition Everest, would call it the Yeti ride. That's about as close as I can get to a Y ride. So Y or Z. I don't know if there's any Z rides. All right, so we may have to wrap on that. I got one quick fun thing for all of you guys. If you want to do this with me, we'll do it real quick and then we'll call it a night. So this is just, I'm going to go through the Disney resorts and the date that they opened. Okay. The month, the date, and the year. As I'm going through them, think about what your birth date is and which resort is closest to your birth date. And you have to wait till I get through the end, but then pop in the chat which resort is closest to your birth date. We'll see how spread out we are. I'm not asking anybody to give me your birth date itself, but just which resort is closest to your birth date, just day and month. I'm not too concerned about the year. So for instance, I'm not even going to do that. We'll just start with at the beginning. On October 1st, 1971, the Polynesian and the Contemporary Resort opened. So I suppose if anybody here has a birthday of October 1st, then Poly and Contemporary would be the answer for you. Next up in opening, and again, this is from oldest to newest resorts, Fort Wilderness opened on November 19th, 1971. The Grand Floridian opened on June 28th of 1988. Caribbean Beach Resort opened on October 1st of 88. So now you've got 3 resorts October 1st. How about that? Yacht Club opened November 5th of 1990. Beach Club opened November 19th of 1990. So now you've got Fort Wilderness or Beach Club on November 19th. Port Orleans French Quarter opened May 17th of 91. Old Key West opened on October 1st, 1991. So now you've got another October 1st. Port Orleans Riverside opened February 2nd of 92. All-Star Sports opened April 29th of 94. Wilderness Lodge opened on May 28th of 94. All-Star Music opened November 1st of 1994. Boardwalk Inn opened July 1st of 96. Coronado Springs opened August 1st of 97. All-Star Movies opened January 15th of 99. Animal Kingdom Lodge opened April 16th of 2001. Pop Century was December 14th of 03. Saratoga Springs opened May 27th of 04. Art of Animation opened May 31st of 2012. And then the Riviera opened on December 16th of 2019. Tasha, I was born before every single last one of these places was built. So let's see, Helen, I'm too tired to figure out if early November or early October is closest for yours. Le Mans is Grand Floridian. I have to figure mine out now. Blake, March 24th. Could be, well, let's see here. Port Orleans Riverside was February 2nd. Animal Kingdom Lodge was April 16th. I think April 16th might be the winner for you. For me, I'm going to say that I am Beach Club was the closest to my October 21st. Helen is October 21st. So Poly, Contemporary, Old Key West are all October 1st. But closer to that, Helen, I think All-Star Music is November 1st. So I think that would be your closest one. So you are All-Star Music. Amanda's Riverside, very cool. Yeah, Tasha, I was born before Disney World was Disney World. Yeah, so I'm sure I've shared the story before, but I was there in 1976 when it was just Magic Kingdom and there were no other parks. I do love music, Helen. Yes, I like that resort too. I think all 3 of the All-Star resorts are great, especially if you're going to spend most of your time in the parks. All-Stars are wonderful. There's no reason to spend a lot of money. Oh, you do love music, not the resort. Tasha, I assume you mean the part that I was there when it was just the Magic Kingdom, that was cool, and not the fact that I'm older than Disney World in totality. You'd never been to it, Helen? I like All-Star Music. Again, all three All-Stars are great. We're going to All-Star Sports at the end of the month. I shared this before. First time we ever took our oldest son, we went to All-Star Sports. So I'm kind of reminiscing to those days, and I wanted to go back to All-Star Sports, start all over again with grandkids. But yeah, Tasha, I mean, do I love the fact that I'm getting old? No, but I do love the fact that I got to be there when it was just Magic Kingdom. I got to see Goofy water ski in Seven Seas Lagoon, all things that you're never going to see nowadays. Obviously, you can never see just Magic Kingdom only. All right, gang. We are approaching an hour and a half in total, so I think it's about time to wrap for the night. I remember when it was just Magic Kingdom. Yeah, Le Mans, absolutely. And back then, there were just the three resorts: Contemporary, the Poly, and Fort Wilderness back in '71. So a very different experience back then. This concept of the Disney bubble didn't exist back then. It was a theme park with a couple of resorts, and a lion's share of people that went to the parks were staying off property somewhere. Very different than today, that's for sure. I think when we took my oldest son, who is now 35, so 31 years ago, was when we were kind of first opened up to the idea of the bubble. We stayed at All-Star Sports. You had the Magical Express between the airport and Disney. So you were immersed in Disney from the time you got off the plane at MCO at Orlando International Airport. So far cry from way back in the 70s and 80s for sure. All right, gang, I think it's time to wrap for tonight. I do appreciate you joining. Next week, we will continue our ABCs. I'm not going to give you the category because then you'll cheat and do a bunch of research. So I like the quick spur of the moment answers to the things. So we will start with another category next week. If you've got questions for me, you can send them in and we'll review your questions as well. And it'll be 1 week closer to my trip. So I'm excited about that. So we do these every Wednesday night, 7:30 Eastern, right here on the Park Life podcast channel on YouTube. I do a weekly recorded podcast that drops Monday mornings at about 5 o'clock Eastern on this same YouTube channel. If you're in your car, out on a walk or whatever, you can listen to those podcasts on Spotify. Mike and the Wild Scene, that's right, Tasha. So I would love for you to listen to any of those podcasts. You can place comments in those on YouTube, and I always try to read those and get back to you if you have questions or anything like that. Otherwise, that's a wrap for tonight. I appreciate you joining. Have a great night and even better tomorrow. And remember, when you wake up tomorrow, it is a great day to be alive. We'll talk to y'all later. Good night, everybody.